Hey gang, I don't know what happened there. We just completely crashed. I think it was the overload of people joining us or something. I'm just going to wait till Fiona pops in again and this feed gets going again. There's a load of you in there. I know we're getting into the juicy details of what works on Instagram. And as Fiona was sharing her goals there with us, I'm going to let a few of you come in and get Fiona back in, and hopefully we will not crash. I don't know what happened. That's the first time that's happened to me now, but sure. Everything happens on live. It makes it so exciting.
There we go.
Fiona, we broke the internet.
We broke Instagram.
You were dropping all the gold. People were hanging on. Oh. So we were talking about the hashtag strategy of, and
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
love that.
I was going
I
to say about a post I did months ago, long time ago. So it's Jeremy Irons on the Late Late promoting the Hope Foundation, and in the middle of it, he picks up his mug, and I thought that's a Nicholas Moss mug. So I replayed it on the RT player, and I photographed him holding the mug, and I posted up. I said, Jeremy Irons buys Irish, do you kind of that post is floating around all over the place, and every now and then someone else likes it. And that's months ago,
yes,
months ago. Where if
yes.
I had just stuck that in a story, God,
So the learning is don't focus just on story. Like you can put it into your highlights, all right, but
yeah,
but is that searchable? And when it's in highlights,
no,
it's searchable.
no,
No, it's not.
no,
Okay,
no. Your
that's so
stories
good.
are they're just gone. Saving them is great because like I'm saving all the Christmas ones at the moment,
Yeah.
but I'm constantly having to do messages saying, go read my highlights, go read the highlights, go read the highlights, because
Yes,
it's
pointing them
not
there.
people's first default,
That's
and
right.
Instagram is not pointing you to someone's
That's
highlights. You
right.
to point them there. So you can put in, do a post and say, go read my highlights. I've got loads of whatever it is.
And point
But
them there.
posts are permanently on Instagram and they will be found.
Hmm.
Stories, they're great for, short things and hello, how is everybody doing? And, short things. But I am finding that some of the business are posting up lovely stories of their products, and those same products are not on their feed. I'm seeing them walking their dog, I'm seeing them playing with their kids, and that's lovely. But it needs to be in between
Yes.
the
The two, the lifestyle and the
product.
product, it has to be
Yeah,
in there, or
yeah,
else people don't know. Can I buy this from this
yeah.
account,
They
or
think
was
it's a
that just
private
their
account.
Yes, yes, that's a great point. I love that. And you
Yeah,
know what I always do, and I don't know, do you do this, but what I tend to do when I'm, building out my plan for content is I like to use my feed as the like this is what I'm talking about, and I share like a post up into stories, and then I create short stories about the main post, but that post is backed out, like it's doubling up.
exactly,
So you're almost
exactly.
anchoring the topic from your feed into your stories and then filling
Yeah,
in with little, more
yeah,
personal
yeah.
stuff like,
Because you will have followers who do read stories all the time,
yeah,
and that's great, and that is important because that engages the person in your
yeah,
account.
yeah,
But there's just no long-term presence on Instagram if you
impact.
haven't made a post.
I
Yeah,
love that. That's so smart. And it's so
yeah,
something that a lot of people overlook, don't they? That they just think
yeah,
I'll be seen in stories. That's the trending thing. So I'm going to just focus in there,
yeah,
forgetting
yeah,
about the long term stuff. Because that's the
exactly.
thing. Even now, when we're in Christmas as well, Fiona, you know, like everyone's so busy putting their stuff out there, trying to sell stuff, and you're doing
Yeah,
amazing work. I found so many luscious clothes from your last few posts. I'm like, oh my god, I've never seen this. Oh my god, like drool, going, I need to win the lotto quick. And but like it's consistency with that. It's not like after Christmas, oh thank God, and I'll just rest there now till
yeah,
next Christmas.
yeah, yeah.
It's really topping it up all the time, isn't it?
It
Maybe
has
not as
to be.
heavy as Christmas, but you're still on
Yeah,
top of it all the time, aren't you?
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you do
You
you
have to
use
be.
any tools for your hashtags, or do you just kind of logically think about it?
A copy and paste.
Copy and
So I
paste.
have sets of them copied, so they're in my clipboard, and I think,
Yeah,
right, I'm doing fashion today. Where's my fashion set? And I
yeah,
can't fit them all in the clipboard. So I have Samsung notes, and I go
yes.
in, I save them there, and I can copy them. So I'm doing fashion this week. I go find the fashion ones and, lash
But
them in.
even to curate the hashtags, would you just pull them from Instagram, or would you use a hashtag tool, or
No, no, I haven't. No, I've just done them myself. Yeah,
I say
no, I've just
yourself
done them.
and
Yeah.
tested
Now,
them?
some of the marketing businesses tell you to go and check. If you see a business that is big in your area, go
Yeah,
see what hashtags are they using and use
yeah,
them.
yeah.
But you have to be careful, because if all the hashtags you use have 3 billion posts, you're not going to
Yes,
get as much traction from the ones that have 100,000, or
yes,
you know.
yes.
So they suggested you have a mixture, the ones that are the big ones and the ones that are, more niche, more specific to you. But
That's
making sure
right.
that they are keywords for somebody trying to search for your product.
That's right.
That's the big. And making
That's
sure that
right.
you use that it's Irish. Irish leather, Irish handbag, Irish boutique,
Yeah.
because, if people are trying to hone in on an Irish business, then it needs to be in your hashtags there.
Yes, and I think a lot of people do search Irish, even abroad. They want, the expat communities search Irish made or
Yeah,
Irish inspired clothes.
exactly.
That they want
Yeah,
to be connected
exactly.
to Ireland in some way. I think it's
Yeah,
it's great to kind of focus in on that. That's
yeah.
brilliant. So you
There was
decided,
something
right?
actually,
So
sorry, just in your
go on.
introduction there, you were saying
Yeah,
about how to buy. I have found that, and I have messaged businesses and said, how can I buy your product? You don't have it anywhere in your bio. Even if it's only DM me
DM
to
me
buy,
for say yes.
just something.
Yeah,
And a huge amount of them in the bio don't have Irish. They don't say they're from Ireland, they're from Dublin, they're from,
yeah.
so I was watching, I've forgotten her name, Karen from
Karen
Simplify.
McCarthy. Karen
Yeah.
McCarthy. Yeah,
And she was talking about, so you've the name of your account, your at,
yeah,
whoever.
yeah,
But under your circle logo, there is a field, and it's called name.
yeah,
Now, that does not have to be a repeat of your business name. Now,
yeah.
unless nobody would be searching for Fiona Raw, so I'm not putting Fiona Raw in there. So I still have Buy Irish in there, but
Yeah,
I've added on other words, because that field apparently is searchable.
searchable. That's right.
So even apparently, if you put the Irish flag in there,
Yeah.
that will find Ireland in the search.
Ah, okay.
So because it's
Amazing.
only so long, but if you
Yeah.
can put some of the keywords for finding your product in
Yeah.
that field,
Yeah.
apparently it's searchable, and that helps. So
That's right.
that's
To
like
not think
that's a
it's
2 minute
and
fix.
people get a bit confused because when they go in, it says name, so they think, oh, I'll
Yeah,
just put the name of my business.
yeah,
So it's kind
yeah,
of a tricky one, isn't it? Like to just
yeah,
focus in. So it's not really,
yeah,
and it's even being clear as to what you're selling, like
yeah,
Irish
yeah.
made handbags, leather goods.
Exactly.
It's what
Yeah,
people would be searching for.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
And her
Yeah.
other big golden rule is no hashtags in your bio.
No
Because
hashtags
if
in the
people
bio.
click on them, they're gone
They're
from you.
gone.
Now, I've
Okay.
put in the Buy Irish Christmas 2021 one on mine, but
Unless
I'll be
it's your
taking it back
own.
down, because it's my
Yeah,
own hashtag, and that's where I'm looking for people to go right now.
yeah,
But generally, don't put hashtags in your bio, because they're not searchable, and they are just, people will click on them because they see them, and then they're gone from you.
yes.
So that's
Love
it.
it.
So
Pebble
keyword.
House Ireland, how's it going? She said, he said, sorry, can you just edit the name in your profile? Yeah, you can go
Yeah,
in and edit your name in your profile, and you can change it and test it. And, if you
yeah,
decide to change from Pebble Art to something else, like it's changeable. It's not like Facebook where you have to apply to change.
yeah,
Instagram is easy to change that
yeah,
piece of your bio.
yeah,
So it's really moving with your business as you grow or develop new products
yeah,
or services, isn't it?
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's
And once
brilliant.
your at name is consistent,
Yeah,
then that's staying. So you
that's staying.
can fiddle around with the other one. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
right. And I
Yeah.
change my bio all the time. It depends on what you're selling. If you're promoting something, like now, I'm promoting my one-to-one offer, and it's pointing to that. And when that's
Yes.
finished tomorrow, it'll be something else,
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
where do you want to send people from your bio? I think it's really
Exactly.
important, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Linda says, how do you hide your hashtags? I IG newbie? Sorry, brilliant question. All these questions are great. So there's a few ways you can, like what I always do is I just you do your caption and then dot 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 dot
You
dot
don't have
dot
to do the dots
hashtag.
anymore. You
Don't
don't have to
you?
do the dots.
Oh,
No.
amazing. And I
You
was doing the
used to have to
dots.
put dot, return, dot, return, dot. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
dots
was
are
always
gone. You
doing
can just
dots.
do return, 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 return,
Return,
return.
return,
Push it
return.
down. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Dotless now. I'm dotless. Fantastic. That's
Oh, it
great.
drove me. I used to do the newsletters and it'd be in paragraphs and I'd have it all lovely and I'd paste it in and then the whole thing would scrunch up because I'd have no dots in to make the return. So no, you're
That's brilliant.
no
Well,
dots anymore needed.
they're helping us with that, like, and I think they're
Yeah,
evolving as well as a
they
platform
are.
all the
They
time,
are.
aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
That's brilliant. So no dots, no hashtags in bio. Change your name to what you do or what you want to be found
So
for, which I think is
keywords.
really
Yeah.
important. Yeah.
Like if you
Uh,
are like if you have a business name, say, but you are an artist, so people might look for you in your own personal name as the
yeah.
artist, then put your name in,
Yeah.
but also then put
Exactly.
Irish artist,
Yes, 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 or watercolor. Yeah,
or whatever.
that's
Yeah.
it. That's brilliant. And so you just decided, Fiona, right? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to help Irish creatives. I'm going to get this profile up and running. It all kind of escalated then, and you saw a huge appetite for it, which is amazing. And
Absolutely.
you were helping so many people.
Yeah. Like I'm
What
turning
next?
businesses away at the moment. Like I have a queue of 400 and some of them are sitting in that queue since last March because I just can't get through them all myself.
Of course you can't.
So
You must be really because it's a voluntary thing, right? I
yeah,
mean, that you're. I
yeah,
mean,
and
there's
it's
no
only me.
cost, and there's only you, and I know what
Yeah.
that feels like, and and it's
So
heavy. Like, so,
there's
so
only
what's
so
the
many
next?
hours.
What's the next step for it, Fiona? Are you going to like because
Well,
obviously
I'm
people love
hoping,
dealing with you, and you've done so much work to help people to this point. What are you going
I'm
to do
hoping to
next?
set up a website. I have the URL buyirishdirectory.ie. So that's there.
Yeah,
And there's an option to express an interest in being on that directory, and there's an option to join the newsletter. Now, don't expect a reply soon because I'm still
you're
working
flat
on it.
out. Yeah.
But it will give me an idea if there is an appetite for people to actually be involved. But I would like that directory to be the directory. So
Yes.
hundreds and thousands of businesses, not just
Yeah.
a few hundred.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work out how that works because if I have 1,720 businesses at the moment,
Yeah.
so I would love to give everybody an individual Instagram feed post at the moment. It just couldn't
Okay.
do it.
It
Instagram
couldn't.
wouldn't let me post that many in a month, and I
Of
wouldn't
course.
physically have the ability to do it.
Capacity. That's right.
So if the directory had 20,000 businesses, you couldn't do Instagram posts. So
That's right.
it's working out. I can use Instagram to drive the traffic to the website, but the website needs to be the place for people to find the businesses.
So, and I
Um,
love directories as well because they're
yeah,
simple, they're easy to find, you categorize them. Because I ran the marketplace,
proper
which was,
categories.
pardon?
Proper categories is a big
Proper.
one.
Yes, yes. So there's lots of choice. It's really specific to Irish makers and artists and
Yeah,
small businesses, like what.
yeah.
But it's not an e-commerce site; it's a directory. Is that where you're going
Just a
with it?
directory and
Yeah, I
pointing
think
people
that's
then to the e-commerce and the websites or whatever Instagram accounts, whatever it is that the business themselves have. So
that's beautiful. I love
yeah,
that. I love
yeah.
that. I think it's so needed as well. Pebble House Iron says, I think Fiona asked me once a price for my frames and I thought she wanted to buy one. I was very new to Instagram. Love the page. Oh, I love that message.
Yes, I probably went on and said, "How do I buy?"
How do I buy? She was probably giving out to you.
Because
Where's
there's no
your
point me promoting
link?
you and sending people to you, and then they get there and go, "Well, I can't buy this, so
I can't
I'm
buy. I
gone."
get that a lot. And another thing that I heard recently, actually, from a friend who was trying to buy like 500 cards for her business to like she's running a business with all these clients and she wanted 500 cards and she messaged two businesses and no one got back to her, and I have a feeling that message is in message requests,
Yeah.
sometimes they're
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So always make sure again you're checking every possible entry point that the
And
message.
somebody pointed out, oh, and actually it was Thomas Taff. I was talking to him at the craft fair the other day.
Yeah,
Um, you know, a way if you put an auto reply
yeah,
on your Instagram,
yeah.
that marks the message read. Now I
Ah,
haven't tested that out because I don't use it, but as far as I know, so then so then you're literally having to scroll through and check are
ah, you
these
don't
new
know who
messages or not.
to. Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
so that
And
might
that's where
be what.
stuff can fall in, right? That's
Yeah,
where stuff can fall through.
yeah,
That's
and because if
interesting.
people don't get an answer back, they're not going to ask you
Chase
twice.
it up. No,
No,
because
I couldn't tell
you
you
know
how
that
many
people.
times over the year I've messaged, or these request forms on a website. You fill it in
Yeah,
and you send it off, and you hear
yeah,
nothing.
I know.
People have got to respond,
Yeah,
or
that's
people
right.
are
Now
going.
more than ever, because
Yeah,
of social media as well. It's
yeah,
instant, isn't it?
yeah.
Like now, saying that, I think, like it doesn't mean you have to be on all the time and checking it. Like
No,
but you have a system in your business where every morning you check, every evening you check, and
exactly.
and you're uncovering, lifting up layers to see are there any messages that could possibly be someone wanting to buy 500 products from you.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? It's that's but
yeah,
on the flip side, when you're running a business, and as we talked about at the start of this call, we do so many things: setting up this, making, social media, email marketing,
yeah,
content. I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so
You're the
overwhelming.
accountant. You are like you're everything. If you are a
Everything.
maker, so you have to space it
So
out
just
and yeah,
so don't beat yourself up if you're that person that going, oh my God, I just keep missing messages and I'm
yeah,
mortified because it's 3 days later. Like, it's better to respond and say your message fell through the hoop, I'm so sorry, and connect in, even
absolutely,
if it is embarrassing. People understand.
absolutely.
It's
They do.
ignoring stuff won't get you anywhere, because
No.
people like to talk about that, right? Don't they, Fiona?
What's the thing? People tell like something like three people good news and they tell 100 people bad news. So there's
It's
some statistic like
incredible.
that. It's
That's
enormous.
right.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is. It's incredible. So,
yeah,
even if it feels cringe-worthy, just go with the cringe and just, connect in and be
yeah,
yourself and be honest. I didn't see it. And
yeah.
that's, people relax straight away as long as you
Absolutely,
acknowledge them, right? It's so
absolutely.
important.
Yeah,
So, just on the importance, I know we went off on a tangent there about Instagram and all this great stuff, because it's hugely valuable to listen to someone that's built and so beautifully from your free time, by the way, just anchoring that like that. I have huge admiration, and I really would love, to support the directory when it's live and you have that up, and I think there'll be huge support for you, Fiona. But I think it's a time to share the knowledge. It's a time to support each other, and yeah, and it's and buying Irish, even for us as makers and creators, and being in Ireland, it has such a huge knock-on effect, doesn't it? It's like
yeah,
you
yeah,
buy one thing and it equates to 5 times that value
yeah.
in society,
In the
because
community,
it's
that's a,
spent.
that's a staggering figure, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
That if you spend a
yeah,
hundred in the community, it's worth 500. If
yes.
you spend the same 100 abroad on a website, it's gone.
It's gone to another
So it's
place.
gone. But 100 is gone, but the other 500 is gone as well,
That's
or
right.
400. Yeah.
And
So
the
it's
ripple effect
huge.
of that income into a
Yeah,
small business is
yeah,
so impactful for our
yeah,
economy. And I
yeah,
think it's a really important statistic to be repeated over and over again.
yeah,
One equals five. Let's
yeah.
bring fives back.
Exactly.
Maybe we could start a
Yeah,
hashtag, Fiona, bring fives back
absolutely.
into.
Big buy back. But I was talking to Moon and Mello at the craft fair as well on Wednesday, and she was saying that her business, she reckons she uses about 10 other Irish businesses in her product. She's an Irish graphic designer, she's an Irish web designer, maybe, or whatever. All those people, Irish delivery companies, so there's 10 businesses being partly supported by her one Irish business. So you
And
buy her
that's,
product, you're
yeah,
helping 11.
That's,
you know.
see, and that's the ripple effect, you see. And
Yeah,
then as she walks down to the post office, she stops into the local coffee shop to get a cup of coffee. As she goes to say hi to
yeah,
her friends in there, that's impacting that business, right? Because she has
absolutely.
that income to spend on. And
Yeah,
it has that huge ripple effect. Oh,
yeah,
it's just so powerful. I was talking
yeah.
to Connor Pope, you know Connor Pope, don't you,
Mm,
Fiona,
yeah, yeah.
about this
That
last
was where
Christmas.
I heard the five thing first, actually.
Yeah, yeah. We were talking about that, and you know, and he's a great advocate for that whole, you know, just keep not everything, because you can't buy everything. Like you can
Yeah,
try
and we
your
can't
best, and
manufacture everything either.
that's right. And I think there's a guilt thing then, and a pressure. People think, oh, I can't, I better hide going, you know, having an Amazon box delivered. I better hide.
Yes,
I think
do hide those. Yeah, absolutely hide those. Yeah,
but I think if everybody makes a conscious effort, even just to be aware of the choice, if you have a
yeah,
choice,
yeah.
just choose the Irish one. Like, and if it
Well, I
makes
put the
sense to
Cyber
you.
Monday post the other day, and one of the business came back. She had reposted it, and so read it when she was reposting it. And she was in the big A, and she said, oh, she came out. She Googled, she said, for 5 minutes, she found it from an Irish business, the same product, and she got it cheaper.
Amazing.
So there you go.
There you go. Because people don't think they can find it,
No,
and they don't think they can find it at a cheaper price or a matching
yeah,
price point. That's B, right?
yeah,
So it's just knocking those myths, I guess, like, you know,
yeah,
and to be fair to consumers, it's speed and also how do I find. So for
yeah,
anyone going, yeah, but that's great, but I don't know where to go to find the thing, buy
yeah,
Irish on Instagram. That's your first port of call to go
yeah,
and look at your curated, and I know how hard that is to curate an account like that, and you obviously spend so much time not only curating the front end, Fiona, but also helping people and going, hey, put in a link. I love that you're in there wanting to help, because you can see it
yeah.
from a different viewpoint, right?
Yeah, if
I
I
just think
find
that's
a tip,
brilliant.
then I'm passing it on, you know, and
Yeah,
by the bit, like I've seen during the lockdown, the businesses helping each other. They are
yeah,
reposting for each other. They, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and like the ingenuity of the businesses. Like there were bookshops who weren't online, so they were taking phone calls from their customers, and they were walking around the shop saying, "What do you like?" and "Oh, could I suggest this?" and
yeah,
posting them out. And you
yeah,
know, like
yeah,
the ingenuity has been fantastic. It
yeah,
really
yeah,
has.
yeah,
Businesses who, you know, they were just a shop front, never had an online presence. But it was a week to Mother's Day, actually, that Saturday. And everyone was going, oh, I'm going to them. You know, the shops were taking phone calls. I'll send it. I will write the card to your mammy for you. Write what you want to say. And they were
yeah,
posting it directly to mammy's son. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's the service you're getting from a small business,
yeah,
you know,
solving all
and
the
you
problems.
get something in. It's not in a brown cardboard box. Just, you know, you open it up and it's packaged nicely, and it's
Yeah,
like you bought yourself a present, you know.
yeah, and a handwritten card. I mean, it's just gorgeous,
Absolutely,
isn't it? It's
yeah,
so beautiful. And you know that when it's sent directly, there's a handwritten note, and you don't have to deal with it. Like, and you can see it's wrapped, there's a bow, there's a card,
yeah.
it's written down. And I got even a gift this morning, and it's just so beautifully. I'll just show you now, actually. It's from Neo.
Oh, our
Oh, she
packaging is
sent me.
gorgeous.
I know, but there's a little handwritten note,
Yeah,
and just I went, it's so lush, and it was in gold paper, and it's just so
gorgeous. Yeah, I bought a
beautiful, you
necklace
know.
myself actually from her, and I like that exactly. I felt like I'd really bought myself a present. It was lovely to open.
Yeah, and it's so nice to have that touch and that personal attachment to the person you're buying from, rather than a huge, you know, where you're just really a number. You know, it just makes it
Yeah,
feel different.
yeah, yeah.
Hazel Rock Jewelry says Fiona is a wonderful ambassador and helped our Irish business is a treasure. Amazing, and so many people have messaged me about you, Fiona. I hope you know that
Well,
you're
that's
doing
lovely.
amazing work, and that people
That's
really
lovely.
are grateful for you. So
Oh,
amazing.
I
Well
get lovely
done.
lovely messages, in fairness, from the businesses, I do, which is great,
Yeah.
because it's nice to have the feedback that, you're not talking to yourself.
I get that. I'm like that all the
Yeah.
time. It's
But
so,
I
so
put up some
nice.
of the newsletters, they put lovely messages on the newsletters and things, and it's really
Yeah,
nice.
it
And
is
that
nice.
matters, because that also ups the post on Instagram.
Well, there you
So
go. There you
it has the
go.
knock-on effect.
That's brilliant. So keep up the amazing work, Fiona. And when, probably in the new year or maybe next year at some point, that directory will be up and running, and no doubt everybody will be behind you on that one. Because
Yeah,
I really
hopefully
believe
so. I think it's
when you give
necessary,
so
and I
much.
think if it's done well, I think it will be really good. Because I hate going in and you click on fashion accessories and you have to scroll through 300 people. I'm thinking, I want gloves. I want to go
Yeah.
to fashion accessories, then I want to say gloves.
Yes. Yeah, so it's very specific to the want
Very
of
specific. So
yeah.
that's what I'm trying to get to. And so yeah, if we can build that, I think it would be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the more people who join, then the less money then it will cost everybody
Yeah.
too.
That's right.
If we can get an
It's all
economy of
volume,
scale.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So but
Amazing.
yeah, I think it's because like I did this, actually I printed this out. I did this post, I put it back on my stories this morning.
Yeah.
But it's why to buy Irish. That's what we cannot talk about. And
Yeah.
it's all in that, the community. For me, it's the community. It's
Yeah.
the main street still having the shops fronts open,
Yeah.
and if they aren't selling online and in the shop fronts without tourists, then they can't stay open.
Yeah.
So they do need the support. And they are, we all go off and we go, for say the midterm break, for a break down the country, and those of us from Dublin, sorry,
Yeah.
off down the country. And but I always find out that the local craft shop and whatever, but actually they're there all year if you can find them. They are online, a lot of them. So if they can be supported all year rather than you buying from abroad, then,
That's
it
right.
makes such a huge difference to a community. Like, so many people are saying they're going to try and live outside of Dublin.
Yeah.
Well, they need the local town.
That's right. Because if it's not there,
Yeah.
you can't, it'll be pretty
No,
miserable living in between two trees. Probably not actually. It'd be great. But you'd have no facilities or community to lean into.
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
because that makes the community. You go in to buy whatever in the local shop, and then you are meeting the local people. You're
yeah,
catching up on the news, and you're having the chat, and
that's
that's
right.
what makes community. But it can't be
That's
there if people aren't supporting the local shops.
That's right. So shop
Yeah.
local, gang,
Shop
and
local.
make that decision. And remember, every 100 that you spend equates to 500 in the surrounding economy. And it's really, really important that we just
Yeah,
make that choice, like, because it is a
yeah. Well,
choice, right?
I give you one awful statistic.
Go on.
According to Champion Green, 5 billion is spent online every year. 5 billion. 3.3 billion of that is spent abroad.
That's an Irish statistic.
So 3.3 million of that money is going out of the country. It's not employing anybody. It's not keeping the business open. It's gone. We have
Wow.
to turn that
We
around.
have
We
to
have
turn
to.
that around.
Yeah, yeah. Because what would,
Well,
like, 3.3 billion in our Irish economy now, what would it do for it? It would be
oh
fantastic.
my God, it would change so many people's lives.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
well, I think, the more of these conversations, Fiona, and the more, people and everyone attached to business to be just shouting about this, like, and just,
yeah,
because we're all in the creative sector and we see, like, you're helping people, I'm helping people, then all the people that are running small businesses are brilliant at supporting. They're always the ones you meet at the markets and the craft fairs, but it's everybody else we need to
yeah,
touch. So I think
yeah.
it's more press stuff, features in the newspaper, getting on the telly. Like, we need to make it happen, girl.
The difference, wasn't as much of an effect with the Ryan Tubridy show this year, but his Spire Irish
Yeah,
show last year was huge. I
yeah,
had I keep forgetting the number, but I had hundreds of new followers within that week,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and that really gave the whole thing a leg up.
I think
But
it's
there's been no
keeping,
government campaign. Like,
yeah,
Champion Green is a privately run,
yeah,
campaign from the people from Kilkenny.
yeah,
But there's no government. The government came back to me because I did write to Leo at the time, and
That's
I was told,
wonderful.
"Oh well, we're doing this pup and we're doing this, we're doing that." And I'm going, "Yeah, but you're not asking people to buy from Irish businesses."
That's right.
And so they said, "Oh, they do look for local through the local enterprise offices." Have any of you heard of Look for Local? I bet you
No.
haven't.
No.
It was on the news, and there are lists of businesses on the local enterprise offices websites.
Website, but sure, no one goes
But it's
there
literally just a
really,
list
unless you're
that
a
you go
small
scroll through.
business.
So, yeah.
You see, that's the
And that
thing.
was it. So there's no big national campaign to push it. So yeah, we have to do it ourselves. Keep going.
And we will. And that's the
Yeah,
key learning. If it's not there already, don't wait for other people to do it. Get up off your arse and do it yourself. Like, make it happen, because
make it
it does
happen.
happen. It does happen. And you can
Yeah,
see that what you've created just from having that idea of, look, I'll just set up this and roll with it and see what happens.
yeah.
Amazing, Fiona. My hat goes off to you, girl. I think you're brilliant. Well done. Well
Kept
done.
me sane for lockdown as well, mind you.
I know, and it's so fulfilling, isn't it, from the other side as well? I feel
It
that
is.
too.
When you
When
get
you,
the great feedback and the difference that
yeah,
the businesses are telling me it makes, it keeps you going.
it does. It
Yeah.
does. Lots of people are saying, where to can they hop on a wait list for that? If is there a wait list for your now? Now I'm
Okay.
the business
Okay. Here
mentor.
we go. Right. I cannot add to the waiting list because it's about 400 at the moment. So I can't add
but
to it.
but for
However,
the direct but for the
however,
directory,
over
the
the
directory.
directory, there's a link in my bio to my link tree. There's a link that'll bring you to the website and you can sign up your interest in that.
Amazing,
But
amazing.
if there are small Irish businesses who want to join in on Buy Irish, use my hashtags. Because you can't, you can't go into my site and look for fashion accessories because, Instagram isn't that type of searchable.
Yeah,
But I have a highlight called categories.
yeah.
It's along those little circles, categories it's called, and there is one for every section of businesses. So there's menswear, there's music, there's children's wear, whatever. And each one of those has a hashtag. So if you are a business with children's wear, go in and add Buy Irish Children's Wear to your posts. And as I promote those hashtags, your business will also be promoted.
Attached to it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So any
Amazing.
small Irish business, I'm asking only small Irish businesses to use them. And I'm
Yeah.
asking you to only use them on the product, the relevant product that you're posting.
Yeah.
Please don't put them on your walking your kid and the
Yes.
dog. Because people want to
That
see
will ruin
products if they click on it. Yeah.
that's right, because that will ruin the experience from the user, you see, and they won't engage with all the other posts
Yeah.
then if they
Yeah.
see
And if you've
non-relevant
Christmas
stuff.
If your Christmas gift ideas, it's Buy Irish Christmas 2021. A lot of people are still using it without the year, so you could use both.
Okay.
And I have a separate one then for Buy Irish Christmas cards. So the person who needs the 500 cards, hashtag Buy Irish Christmas cards. Hey
Brilliant.
presto.
Brilliant, Fiona.
So um,
I
So yeah,
love
so
that.
join in if you are a small Irish business. Use the hashtags on your posts, and your products will be found. And hopefully in the new year, then I'll be able to get adding another chunk of businesses to the
That's
account,
right.
and loads more. Hopefully through then the website instead, and we'll get
And I
there.
think that will be the holy grail. It'll be that website, that directory that you can channel all that attention towards.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. Hopefully so.
Fiona, you're brilliant. I have a feeling we'll be in contact again soon to march up to the Dáil there with our proposal somehow.
That's us.
I can see it now. Off we go.
Buy Irish banners. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you so much for coming on,
Thank
Fiona. I
you,
really
Tara.
appreciate you
Happy
sharing.
birthday for tomorrow.
Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. Thanks
I'm
so
the
much.
12th, so we're both December
Oh,
babies.
really? Both Sagittarius. Brilliant. Near Christmas, baby. So happy birthday to you too,
Thank
Fiona,
you.
for the 12th.
And happy
Um,
Christmas, of course.
and
Well,
happy
happy by
Christmas.
Irish Christmas.
By Irish Christmas 2021. Hashtag. So listen, have a wonderful Christmas, and thank you to everyone that tuned in. Fiona dropped some amazing tips and tricks and just inspiration and reminder to buy local, buy Irish, because every little purchase that you make from a local small business ripples out to our
Yeah.
country, and
Yeah.
God knows we need it now more
Actually,
than ever.
I had one other statistic that
Yeah.
Champion Green put up, and they had put it up last year, and at the time it was if every adult spent an extra €20 in the Irish economy, it would generate 875 million. Just
Holy
20 quid.
shit. Oh
Yeah.
my Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that up on your stories? Because I'm going to share that as
It's
well.
on, that's on the Champion Green website. They've
Oh, is
loads of
it?
statistics on their, well,
Right.
on their Instagram page. They're
Okay.
great at coming up with those figures,
With those. But do you see,
yeah,
that's what makes impact, doesn't it? When you go,
yeah,
what?
exactly.
Really? Like, people
Yeah,
don't think about it, right? They
yeah,
don't think about it.
yeah,
Oh, that's unbelievable. Jeannie
yeah.
Mac.
So no
Okay.
excuses. Go buy
So
Irish,
no
please.
excuses. Let's spend our money with Irish small businesses, gang, and hopefully this time next year we'll be able to bring Fiona on and say, "Well done, everyone. We've got that number down. We're on the road." Fiona, thanks so
Exactly.
much, and
Thanks,
lovely,
Sarah.
lovely meeting you. Okay,
Lovely to
and
meet you as
enjoy
well.
your
Hello,
weekend.
everybody, and happy
Bye,
Christmas.
everyone. Take
Bye.
care. See you next Friday, guys. Bye.
Bye.